my screen share. Let's see. Why don't you try doing your screen share? I think it would just take over accordingly.
There we go. Oops. Hold on one second. There we go. Perfect. Thank you, Ellen. So hi everyone. My name is Sean Watase. I do run a AI agency here in Hawaii called Block Studio 3. And today we're basically going to be talking about AI, what it has to do with marketing, how can it help, and we're going to touch upon areas that it can really help, like content creation specifically. So just a quick overview of the agenda that we're looking to go over today. First, going to introduce myself, just so you know a little bit about me, and then we're going to talk a little bit about why AI. Why should we embrace it? Why do we want to use it in our business? Why would we want to use it for marketing? Why do we want to use it for content creation? Then we'll jump into AI and content creation, kind of look over ways that we can actually utilize AI to create these types of content. And we'll go over some AI tools. And then again, we'll leave it open at the end for some Q&A and everything for you folks to ask questions. So we'll jump into it. Who am I? My name is Sean Watase. I was born here in Hawaii, and I'm pretty much a tech enthusiast. Any type of new tech that's coming out, anything that's new on the scenes, I want to learn about it. I want to see how can it help improve people's lives, how can it help businesses, and I just love learning about these things. Currently, I do also work for a marketing team for a tech startup in the Web3 space. Basically, we deal with blockchain technology and things like cryptocurrency, NFTs, and those types of things. But I also opened up an AI agency here in Hawaii called Block Studio 3, where I help businesses learn how to utilize AI, teach them what AI is, and how can we build things like automation and AI tools to help save businesses time and money and become more efficient at what they do. So that's just a little bit about me. But jumping into the first section here on why AI, and we'll spend a little bit time here. I normally like to tell people my thoughts on AI, why I think people should care about AI, embrace AI, and then we'll go through some of these. We'll go through these 3 points here on what I normally bring up to people when we're talking about AI and why we should implement them. And the first point is this point of don't get left behind. Everyone will start using AI as a tool, so don't wait. And we can look back at previous pieces of technology before. Like if we just look at something more recent, social media, when social media first came out, it was just way to communicate with their peers. It was, if you look at Facebook, it was a college directory. No one really thought that, social media would evolve into a marketing tool that it is today. And you look at today, everyone who is, doing has a business, has a brand, the best reach and the best way to get out there to people is through social media. You take it a little bit further back, look at websites, e-commerce stores. Never did we think, oh, I needed a website, or never did we think, oh, I'm going to sell things online, right? That's kind of the mindset we had in the very beginning. And now looking towards the future and what people do today, if we're selling a product, we have an e-commerce store. If we have a business or a brand, we have a website. It's how people find us. It's how people search us online. And for me, AI is the same thing. It's a next iteration of technology that we are getting introduced to that, is going to help us build and market our brands and create content a lot easier and more efficiently. Now, it may not be used exactly how it's going to be used in the future, but starting today, understanding it is going to better prepare us for when everyone is using it. We'll know how to use these tools much more efficiently, and we'll know how these tools actually work. And just to kind of put this in perspective here, this is kind of, if you look at it, the growth of AI in the past year and a half or so. So I started using AI tools back in July of 2022 and a little bit before that. But this is an AI image generation tool called Midjourney. And if we look at the image on the far left here, If I don't tell you what it is, you might not know what it is. But essentially, I told AI to generate me a panda relaxing in a bowl of ramen. And this was back in July 2022 when Midjourney first released publicly for people to start using it. And you can see here that it kind of looks like a panda relaxing in a bowl of ramen. It looks a little like it's melting or gelatinous. Don't know if that's a bowl of ramen or not, but it ideally, when you generated this back then, you're like, wow, this is cool. Like I told a computer what I wanted, and it kind of made me something in the area of that. Fast forward 6 months later, you have January 2023. I instructed AI to do the same thing, a panda relaxing in a bowl of ramen. It's gotten a lot better. You can see, in 6 months' time, we can now definitely tell that that is a panda. The bowl of ramen, it still has this cartoonish feel and everything to it. We fast forward 10 months later to October 2023. This is the latest image that I did in a recent talk at the end of last year. And we were able to generate a more lifelike looking panda in a bowl of ramen. And you can see much more detail and everything in it. And then with Midjourney's latest release here in January 2024, you can see we're getting even more detail. We're getting even better results as far as what we're able to generate and create with these AI tools. And this is just in a span of a year and a half. So, just to kind of put it again in perspective, this is how fast this, technology is growing, and we're only going to see it grow quicker and quicker. And what does this mean for us as people who want to implement this into our business for marketing and content creation? That's what we're going to be, covering throughout this presentation. Second point I want to go over is AI is just another tool. So if we look at, the things that we use today for our business, whether it's apps like Canva, video editing tools like CapCut, maybe photo editing tools like Photoshop or Illustrator, these are all software tools that we use to make our work more efficient, right? Before, if we didn't have the tools and features of Photoshop, how could we have done this manually, or what other tools would we have to have used before these tools simplified those processes for us? And AI is today going through its, uptick. It's trendy. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's slapping it onto their tools and everything. It's the in thing right now. But in the future, it's just going to be another tool, another software that we use. And again, it's going through a craze right now, but in the future, it's going to just be something that's implemented into our daily tools and usage that we go through. And then the last point is it saves you time and money, right? Now, AI, if done properly, if implemented correctly, if you know how to use the tools, can save you a bunch of time and money, right? The whole idea and concept of AI is like, I can do things much more efficiently, much quicker, without having to do all the mundane stuff that I do, like creating an image. I would have to normally ideate, do all this stuff just to generate an image that I wanted. AI can take care of that. Same goes for AI automation. There are certain things that I would normally do, but can AI do those processes and things for me, right? And in the end, if you can implement these things and you know how to use those tools properly, you're going to be able to save yourself some time, whether it's to, not doing those tasks anymore. You can now reinvest it back into other areas that you need to work on. But you can also save yourself money, right? Instead of hiring certain people to do certain things, maybe you can now hire people to help you grow and help you scale in areas that AI can't support you in. But you can implement AI into those areas that are repetitive and mundane, and have AI make your business, whether it's marketing, content creation, or other areas, much more efficient. So again, that is just the little talk that I like to go through about why AI, embracing AI, and setting up how we can use AI for marketing and content creation. So just to talk about AI and marketing real quick, this is just a general overview of how AI is being implemented into marketing today, how I also use AI with my marketing team for the company that I work for. And I look at it in 3 steps. The first step being ideation, right? We can generate ideas, we can get feedback, and we can start planning out and creating strategy with AI. especially in, so I work fully remote, and I don't have anyone next to me to talk to all the time, or I can't just jump on a video chat with, my teammates whenever they're free. We have to plan things out. So a lot of times I find myself using AI to ideate, generate ideas to have a conversation with. So, you can have that back and forth banter with, someone who is going to either one, maybe give you some ideas or help you, through the thought process of everything. If you ever been sitting down and, you just wish you could, call someone over and talk to them. And as you talk to them, you start to figure out everything that you wanted the answers to without even the other person having to respond much. That's kind of how I treat AI from day to day, whether, again, it's generating ideas, getting feedback, kind of just brainstorming and getting the thought processes of everything that I'm thinking of down. The second thing is creation, right? And that's what we're going to be talking about a lot today is how can I use AI to create content for me, whether it's copy, images, video, voice. There's a lot of things that you can generate with AI that you can start implementing today into your marketing. And then number three, growth, right? If we can ideate quicker, we can create quicker, and we can do this much more efficiently, it's going to save us time and it's going to allow us to grow and scale what we want to grow and scale. Now, talking about AI and content, we're going to cover a few different areas in here. We're going to go over some tools that you can use. We're also going to go over some examples so you can see what is possible with AI. Now, I might mention this a few times in this presentation, but I don't think AI is to a point where it's going to be able to fully create content for us. But what I mean by that is I don't think people should take AI generated content and just copy it and paste it into their own marketing or their own content creation. People have started doing that already, right? With like blog posts, trying to SEO blog posts and use AI to just write a bunch of these blog posts for them so that they can, saturate the search engine, whether it's Google or whatever it is, to kind of help, bring awareness of their brand or their business. Google has already been cracking down on those types of things, right? So there are areas where people have tried to take advantage of that short window of opportunity, but there are other technologies that are going to come in and counterbalance those areas. So how I like to explain to use AI for content creation is you should use it as a way to, again, be more efficient in what you do, right? Instead of starting at ground zero, AI is going to give you the ability to, start at maybe 50%, 60%, and you just need to complete the rest of the race to whatever it is that you're trying to do. And some areas, again, of AI content creation are going to be copywriting, images and graphics, video and voice as well. Now, this is kind of going in the order of where AI is really good at, right? Right now, copywriting, AI can generate text. It can read a bunch of text. It can generate text for you, whether it's for personal marketing, emails, social media captions. You can do all of this stuff with AI. If you ever used ChatGPT before or any other type of chat AI, you can ask it questions and it can generate copy for you. Another area that is becoming really good is image and graphics. Just like how we looked at previously the evolution of AI image generation, things have progressively gotten better and better in just, the short period of time. And the last area where I wouldn't say it's the best is going to be like video. Video is kind of in the early stages where images were maybe a year ago. And voice is up there, but there's certain areas of voice, right? You probably gone through like TikTok or something and heard a very robotic AI generated voice. Things are getting better, but voice is a very complex thing along with video where there's a lot of nuances with things like tonality, personality in your voice and things like that, where, it's not gonna be as good as like if I were to ask an image generation tool to create me an image, it could get that pretty spot on. Video and voice are getting there, but they're not quite there yet. But those are the three areas that we're going to quickly go over and show some examples of. Now, copywriting, I didn't put any examples into this presentation. If you've ever used ChatGPT or anything like that before, again, you can use those chat tools to generate you copy, whether it's blogs for SEO purposes, whether it's copy for a website. The one tip that I like to give people when it comes to using those chat tools is to not just treat it like a search engine where like, hey, create me copy for X, Y, and Z. Have the conversation. And that's where I think a lot of people can find the full potential of AI and like things like ChatGPT. Some people they use ChatGPT and they're like, it doesn't really give me exactly what I want. And then there's people who get exactly what they want just because again they know how to prompt AIs when they're chatting with it and everything. And my one tip to you folks, if you ever use ChatGPT, is to have the conversation with ChatGPT. What I mean by that is if you ask ChatGPT to create you copy for X, Y, and Z, if you don't like it, tell ChatGPT what you don't like about it. Tell ChatGPT what you had in mind. Tell ChatGPT, hey, like I don't want to use this word instead. Oh, it should talk about this, not this, and have that back and forth conversation because that whole chat history is what ChatGPT is looking at and referencing back to. So don't just ask it one question and not like what you see and then try to generate something else. Go deeper with it. Have that conversation like you were talking to someone who was actually writing the copy for you. How would you give that feedback and how would you go back and forth? So that is my tip there for copywriting. The next few slides we're going to go over is imaging graphics, right? I think this is one area that AI can really help, especially with content creation, especially if you're someone who needs to put more content out there and maybe just don't have the time or the manpower to create all of this types of content. Images and graphics are a real quick and easy thing you can do with AI. So the first thing I want to go over with images is something like logos and graphics. And what you can see here is we have some logos on the left-hand side. I have like coffee, palm trees, pineapple in a cup. I have some graphics in the middle. So these are like Street of Japan, Mount Fuji, and like anime style graphics. I have some graphics here on the left of like some vector art and everything of different zodiac animals. So again, you may not take this logo exactly how it is, cut it out and use it for your brand or business, but it does give you a starting point, much more than just a blank white square, right? You can take the image, you can pop it into a tool like Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, fine tune it, tweak out the things, maybe add some stuff that you did want, but it gives you a starting point much higher. If you need graphics for maybe your social media posts, your backgrounds, graphics on your website, anything like that, you can generate these things with AI. And this is all using a tool called Midjourney. Now, the one thing that you're going to learn as you start to use these tools is something called prompting. And prompting is basically your instructions on how you're telling the AI to create your thing, right? To get something like this, right, you may tell the AI, hey, give me a scenic landscape photo of Mount Fuji during the springtime with sakura, petals flying in the air, and create this in an anime style of maybe your favorite Japanese anime artist or something. Learning how to talk to the AI and learning how to prompt the AI to get the images that you want, that's the skill set that a lot of people, or that's the learning curve of, utilizing AI right now. On top of logos and graphics, you can generate regular images, right? All these images here are generated with AI. We have a couple images on the left here of like a Tacoma in Hawaii, whether it's on the beach, whether it's driving through the coastline. You can see that you can generate these images. Now, if you look very closely, you might find the mistakes. You might find the little details that will tell you that this was AI generated. Now, some people could take this, they could use it for advertisement, they could use it for, whatever social media and content creation they wanted. But again, if you are dealing with, say, like if Toyota were to actually use this imagery, they probably wouldn't, right? Because it's not a exact depiction of the item that they're trying to market. But what you can use these things for is storyboarding, ideating, right? Maybe I'm hiring a photographer that I want images like this, but I don't know how to verbally express how I want those images to turn out. I can use AI and things like that to be like, hey, this is the idea and concept that I want to create. Can you go out and actually create this in real life for me? So again, you can utilize these things not as a copy and paste and to use, but to ideate and think of ways that you can actually create these contents, pieces of content a lot quicker. So even these things, these images here in the middle, you can see we can keep the same styling and everything between generations. So if we're generating maybe a lookbook or, storyboard, we can keep the same styling and um, feel between all those images. And again, we can either use them straight for content, do a little tweaking in some photo editing applications if we need to, but we get a great starting point to create the type of content that we want to create. And then finally here on the left, on the right here, we have, aerial drone shots of an ocean, a mountain range, a coastline. And I've used these a few times where if I just need like a quick second in a video of nature or something like this, I don't need to go out with my own drone or hire someone with a drone to go and take these photos. I can generate something that I can use really quickly just to illustrate the story of the content piece that I'm trying to share with people. So again, image generation, logos, all of this can be done with these AI tools, and these images, you can generate them in seconds, right? I can just say aerial view of an ocean during golden hour, and within a minute, I'll have an image like this that I can maybe copy and paste as a background for a quote that I want to post on social media or whatever it may be. And then something new that's coming up, some of you may have heard of it, AI people or AI influencers. You can see the person in the middle. This is a social media AI influencer called Fit Aitana. She is completely AI generated. She was actually generated by a Barcelona fashion company, and they basically were trying to solve the problem of how do they get influencers to model their fashion, how do they get or pay these influencers, or how do they save money from paying these influencers. They turned to AI, and essentially they learned how to use certain AI tools to generate a consistent model. And they went in, they basically plan out every week for her. There's a team behind her that plans out every day that what she's going to do, what she's wearing, and they generate the social media posts for her and they post it online. The company also started growing this. They have Maya here on the right, which is another social media AI influencer that they created from the same studio. But this also opened up the possibility and the idea, right, of if I'm a brand or a company, can I just create my own influencer who will portray our brand and what we want to portray exactly how we want it, and we have them to use, and we can use them whenever we want because we can generate that image of the person. And then we have the one on the left. This is basically me using the same tools to see how do we actually do this, right? How can I generate a repetitive, consistent AI generated person in different areas, in different clothing, in different atmospheres? And how can we, start to test this out and see, is it actually doable? What's the strategy behind it? How do we actually implement this into businesses who are looking to use AI people or influencers for marketing? So again, now something like this, there isn't a tool that simply does it for you very easily. There are a little bit more technical tools out there. If you've ever heard of like Stable Diffusion, there are tools within Stable Diffusion, like Stable Diffusion's Web UI and the Comfy UI, which are tools that utilize Stable Diffusion and allow you to generate images that are similar to this, but they are a lot more technical, where you're going to have to, you don't just give it a prompt of what you want to create. You're generating the face separately from the hair, separately from the body, separately from the clothes, and each generation then gets put together into the final image generation. Of course, as time goes on, these things are probably going to become a lot easier, and people will start building tools that will allow anyone to do this at ease. But right now, again, it's something new that started off the end of last year and really started to take off in the AI space. And it's something that now people are really looking into on how they can take advantage of it and use it for marketing and content creation. Next, I want to
Hi,
cover.
everyone. My name is Sean Watas.
Cover video. You can see a couple video generations here. These are both AI generated videos. The first one I'm going to play on the left is using a tool called HeyGen. And this video is not myself. This isn't a recording of myself. I did a pre-recording and fed it to the AI, but the AI generated this video from a voice recording that I gave it. So the video is not really me doing this actual live recording.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sean Watase, and this isn't really me. This is actually an AI generated avatar of myself. We use an AI tool to generate this. We took a recording of myself, maybe about 2 minutes, speaking to the camera. And with that, we are able to now generate as much clones or avatars, AI generated ones just like this, as we want.
So you can see here, you can start to see the possibilities of what you can do with AI and AI video, right? What we've been using this for is for like social media content. We write out scripts, we do voice recordings, but we don't need to set up a studio. We don't need to set up a camera. We don't need to necessarily get the time to kind of get ourselves prepped to jump in front of a camera to record. We can just record our voice or feed the AI a text script, and we can generate it on the spot. Now, with that, we still take it into a video editor, do some cuts, add some effects, whether it's imagery or captions or anything on the video. But with that, we can now generate things a lot quicker. And me myself, I don't need to, again, make sure every day I'm feeling ready to get in front of a camera. If I don't feel like it, I can just use AI or even have someone else edit the video for me using my AI avatar. This video on the right here, this is just a quick sample. The other week, I was at the beach and thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool to just generate a quick video of Hawaii, and using mobile apps, AI mobile apps, AI video editing tools. Just sat on the beach for 30 minutes and edited a quick video. All the imagery, all the video clips in this are completely AI generated. I just threw it into an app called CapCut to add like sound effects and music to it. But you can see, really quickly, and even just on a mobile device, you can generate these types of content, whether, you're just trying to tell a quick story, or maybe you're just trying to illustrate something really quick for content. You don't have to go out and actually get these shots yourself. Now, if I were to play each clip for 4 or 5 seconds, you, again, might be able to nitpick out the mistakes or the inconsistencies that AI generates. But if you need a quick 1 second, 2 second clip and no one knows that it's a AI generated video, they may not see it. They may skip over it unless they go back and go frame by frame trying to nitpick it out. Again, this video was fully AI generated, but what if we just needed aerial scenes like this in between cuts of actual people or in between cuts of our actual video? You can see how AI can assist you in those areas without having to go out, pay for stock footage, without having to go out, find someone to fly the drone for you, without having to hire someone to actually capture those shots. If you only need it for a second or two, AI is still a really great way where you can just generate it and then plug and go. And then here's another example of video here. So this video on the left, same AI generation tool. You can see all these AI generation tools are using the same exact video because we just fed it one video. It uses that as the reference to generate them. So I'm going to be wearing the same clothes. I'm going to have the same background and scenery. Everything's going to be the same. It's just what I'm saying and the words that I'm saying that are AI generated, and then the video is generated to match. So this is a AI generated video here. This is fully AI generated. So the previous one, I did a voice recording, which I find to be a little better just because I can add my stuttering, I can add my personality, I can add, you know, my different changing of tone to the recording. This here is I gave it text. So I created something, a script in ChatGPT. I gave it to the AI and it implemented that with my voice to generate this. The captions on the bottom are all AI generated as well.
Ever wondered how AI could revolutionize your content creation? In a world where AI is reshaping creativity, staying ahead means embracing new tools. In fact, this video is a glimpse of what AI is capable of and was completely AI generated. Join a thriving community where learning and innovation go hand in hand. Discover the secrets to transforming AI tools into powerful.
So you can see that there, that's actually our introduction video for Block Studio 3. And again, with this, you can start to think of ways where, hey, I need to do a recording or I need to do introduction, educational videos. I just don't have the time to get behind a camera, record everything. You can just create scripts by text, feed it to the AI, and it can generate everything for you. Now, another area where we've used this even in the marketing team that I work at, we have CEOs, we have CTOs, we have people, execs who are higher up who maybe we want to show their face in a video, but they just don't have the time in their schedule to sit down, get behind a camera, record, try to memorize a script. We've actually gotten their permission to create AI avatars of them. And whenever we need a video or them to speak upon a certain thing, we can then AI generate them, their script, plug them in. And again, we do it in a way and we overlay video editing where you can't stare too long at the video to really notice that it is AI, but you can start to see how you can implement those types of things to get the type of video that you want, especially with people who don't have the time to always, you know, record something like this. And then this video on the right here that I want to show is a video, same video on the left. What we did though is we used the same tool and we were able to translate it to a different language. And I think this is a really powerful tool, especially here in Hawaii. We deal a lot with tourism. We deal a lot with people from other countries that speak other languages. You can now translate the audio to match. And I'll talk a little bit more about it. I'll just play this video here.
AI がコンテンツ作成を過信する方法を考えますか？創造性を再構築するために新ツールを受け入れることが重要です。このビデオは AI によって生成され、学び
So you can see there, I was able to translate my exact same audio and video into Japanese. Now, one, it does a few things that I think are really cool is it still takes my voice and translates the translation into the language using my voice still. So it's still me talking. It also AI generates my lips to match. So the dubbing of my lips actually match the audio that's
創造
coming out
性
of my
を
mouth.
再構築するために新ツールを受け入れることが重要です。
And I think this is a really powerful tool, especially where we don't need to now hire different people to do different translations into different languages. If I want to keep brand consistency across the board, I can now get one person and have their video translated into the different languages that we want to market to. Now, the great thing about this as well, too, is if we need to go in and you can listen to the audio before generating and you can fine tune, make the adjustments, especially for the translation parts, especially if we use slang or maybe something that's translated a little differently into different languages. You can still have the ability to, of course, edit those things. But I think, you know, a combination of both of these are very powerful, especially when you're trying to create content across the board in, you know, for multilingual purposes. And again, these tools that I'm using here, the first one, or for these video generation tools, they're all going to be a tool called HeyGen. Now, the tool isn't completely free. You can generate your AI avatar for free. They'll do the training of the AI for you. But to generate the video, you do have to pay for it. And it's an easy conversion. 1 minute of video equals $1. Now, that may sound like a lot to some people. It may sound very cheap to some people. It just depends on, of course, how are you using that video content, right? Am I using it for a 1 minute social media post? Can I pay $1 to do that? Am I doing it for an onboarding for someone? Can I just do a 2-minute recording, train the AI, and create, 100 minutes worth of onboarding content and just pay $100 for it. And all I had to do was sit down in front of a camera and talk for 2 minutes. So again, you can weigh out these pricings of these tools and everything. What I do find is the best tools out on the market right now with AI, you do have to pay for them, right? That goes for a lot of things outside of AI, but the best tools, you do have to pay for them. And that's because you are paying for, of course, that computing power that goes behind actually generating all of this for you. So HeyGen, again, it's free to create things. There's another tool here, the one that I use to generate this one that I did on my phone. That one, it's a combination of apps. I actually use the Midjourney to generate the images. So you can use any image generation tool to generate the images, the still images. And then I jumped into an app called Runway ML. So Runway, like a model runway or a airport runway. And what you're able to do there is add motion and animation to your still images. So again, you have to pay for these generations, but Runway also updated their stuff from even when I used it here to where you can add and you can brush over specific areas. You can control motion of specific areas. So maybe I just wanted to brush the shoreline and add motion going to the left of waves crashing. Maybe I wanted to color the trees and add a circular motion of them blowing in the wind. So I have that fine-tuning adjustments of I can color where I want to add motion, and I can suggest the type of motion that I want to create there. And again, this video itself here is HeyGen again. HeyGen has a bunch of tools from AI avatars to translations to you can add motion to a still image if you wanted to as a speaking. They also announced, it's in beta right now, but basically live avatars. So the use case, imagine this, is I go onto a website. A lot of people now are implementing AI chatbots for chat support onto their websites, but you're talking to a chatbot and everything. Imagine if you could now talk to a chatbot, you see an actual live video of a person and they're responding to you in voice. It gives a little bit more of a personal feel where I'm seeing someone face to face and they're actually talking to me. And that's kind of the use case and example of what HeyGen is implementing that technology into. So that kind of does it for the presentation. Again, that was just going over some of the things that you can create with AI tools, whether it's image generation. Everything in the top right box here are some of the tools that we used. ChatGPT, of course. If you haven't used ChatGPT, I suggest trying it out. Just try the free version out and get used to chatting with an AI bot. Midjourney is the image generation tool that I personally enjoy using for images. There's tools out there like Dolly, which is essentially plugged into ChatGPT. If you have their ChatGPT Plus version, you can generate images directly in there. Dolly is also in Bing's image generator, which is the same thing. You can also use other AI tools like Runway. You can use Leonardo. There's a bunch of AI image generation tools out there. ElevenLabs is what I use specifically for voice. It's actually the same voice AI image generator that HeyGen uses behind the scenes for all of their voices. So HeyGen does video and voice as well, but they're using ElevenLabs in the background for voice. If you're looking just for voice, you have ElevenLabs. Now, there wasn't an example in here, but for voice, another useful use case is voiceover and voice manipulation. So I can record my voice talking right now, and I can select a voice that I want my voice to sound like. And I think that's really great, especially if maybe you're doing a voiceover for something. Maybe I wanted a female voice instead to portray certain emotions in my voiceover. I can change my voice to sound more like a female. Maybe I wanted to have two characters. I don't need to get someone else to voice the other character for me. I can now voice both characters and make myself sound completely different. So again, there's a lot of different things that you can do with just voice generation as well. And then HeyGen is the last tool that we used for the AI avatar video generations. They have the voice translations, they have AI avatar generations, and they have a bunch of other little features and tools within them as well. Up top is my website, so blockstudio3.xyz. If you want to learn more, or you want to, book a call to chat on how to implement AI, how to use AI, or create solutions and stuff like that for your business with AI, you can book a call there. I have a QR code here. I do have a AI content creation community where I basically every day I'm generating things, I'm creating things. I go in there, I jot down how I did it, tips and tricks that I found out, and then there's a handful of other people in there who do the same. So if you want to give that a scan and join, that is there as well. But again, try out the tools. That's my one tip for people getting into AI, is to try out the tools. Even if you want to try a paid version, I tell people just subscribe for a month, or plan out what you want to generate and what you want to try and do with the tool. Subscribe for a month, and if it doesn't work out, then just cancel your subscription. But trying it is what's going to help you unlock all the potentials and start to ideate on how you can actually use AI and implement it into content creation, implement it into marketing. But yeah, with that being said, again, that does it for this presentation. I'll look at the Q&A and everything really quick. And then, yeah, Ellen, you can add anything in here.
Oh, so Sean, before you go on to Q&A, I just wanted to do a shout out about your workshop that's coming up in February. So I left a link in the chat for those who have not seen it. So it's a 2-day in-person workshop where Sean is leading, where you can learn how to use AI to generate 30 days worth of social content. And I think that really helps a lot in terms of saving your time and energy, but also helping you refine the way you use AI to generate content. So if you're interested to learn the application of it hands-on with Sean in person, definitely sign up for the workshop. It's 2 days. There is a charge for it, but it's pretty minimal compared to what you're going to be learning from Sean. So just wanted to put it out there.
Yeah, and just to kind of give a little bit more of an overview, it's 2 90-minute sessions on separate days, and we'll basically be going through beginning to end how to create 30 days worth of content. We'll start from ground zero, not having anything at all, and we'll use things like ChatGPT to can we ideate ideas, how can we generate ideas, how can we strategize what we're going to post or create for 30 days worth of things, and then we'll also jump into image generation, we'll jump into video generation, and then how do we use, semi-AI tools that we may already have, like Canva or something, to kind of put everything together for social media content. And then, of course, by the end of it, you have 30 days worth of content all created within 2 90-minute sessions. So if you're looking to, kind of learn how to actually use these tools in a sequence where you can actually, start doing stuff with it, that would be a great session for you folks to join. But I'm going to go through the Q&As here really quick. If you have any questions, drop them into the Q&A, and I'll go through and answer them. First question was, what was the name of the video generating tool? So there was two. There was HeyGen, that was for the clone of myself. And then there is, I'll add it in here and type it in here as well. And the second one was Runway ML. So I'll just do HeyGen and Runway ML. And then, yeah, so same question. What was the programs you're using for the AI videos? Runway ML is you can do text to video or you can do image to video. But for the AI avatars, HeyGen is the tool that I used for that. If you go on my website and you check out my YouTube channel, I posted a kind of a tutorial on creating good avatars with HeyGen. The one thing that you want to do is the AI learns from the 2-minute recording that you use to train it. So you want to make sure that you have the absolute best 2 minutes worth of video because that's what the AI is going to be replicating. So I normally suggest, get a professional camera, get professional lighting, get professional sound. If it's, paying to get that done, just to have a 2-minute recording, you're going to be able to replicate that same thing over and over again. So you can think of it that way when you're trying to invest into the initial training and recording of the AI avatar. And then let's see. What did that? Thank you. Thank you for great presentation. And then if you are looking for the link, I think it's in the regular chat. There will be the link to the Eventbrite there. Cool. Let's see. Oh, what is this link? Does anyone need this last slide up still? I'll leave it up for a little bit more. I kind of want to click on the link, but I'll leave this up a little bit more before my web page changes. Cool. I'm gonna click on this and we can take a look here at some of the tools here. Cool. I think it's an infographic. Yes, ChatGPT, basically one of the biggest AI tools. I'm sure everyone has heard of ChatGPT in some way, shape, or form. And again, ChatGPT, it's a very overall tool. I think you can use it for a lot of things. It's a general tool. And the thing with the general tools and with ChatGPT, I find a lot of times it can be overwhelming and you don't necessarily get the result you want because you have to really instruct ChatGPT to get that answer out of it. The one thing I would look into is prompt engineering. Another thing too is if you try ChatGPT's free version, GPT 3.5, you honestly won't get the best results out of it. It's a great way to practice like how to conversate with AI and everything, but you're not going to get the answers and the results you want from it. It's based off of old information and data. If you're looking to get the most out of ChatGPT, I always suggest people get the ChatGPT Plus version. ChatGPT Plus has one, it has image generation, so you get image generation inside of ChatGPT Plus, along with an updated knowledge model. So it has more up-to-date information. It has web browsing, so it can actually surf the web for you, find recent and updated information, and then feed it back to you, and it will source its reference. It also has a vision as well, so you can upload an image to it, ask it questions about that image. Little tip here, we've uploaded web pages and everything to it, and we ask it, to give us feedback about web design, maybe text or content on a website. It's given us feedback to where it's like text needs to be more contrasted in certain areas. So there's a lot of different ways you can use ChatGPT, but again, you get the most usage out of it if you get ChatGPT Plus. You can try it out for free, but again, it's more so like just training so you can, figure out how to use and chat with AI. Quillbot, character AI, again, copywriting, text generating, Midjourney, that's the image generation tool. Hugging Face, this is going to be a little bit more towards a different type of image generation, which is Stable Diffusion. Hugging Face, the great thing about Stable Diffusion and all of those things is it's kind of open source to a point where I can train my own models on a product. I can train say I have like a water bottle or something, I can take images, studio images of the product in different lighting and everything. I can upload those images to AI, and then I can train my own AI on that water bottle. And then I can use an AI image generation tool, take other training models of like maybe backgrounds or people, and I can now generate my bottle into those types of images. So it's a much more, again, complex, detailed tool, but it has a lot of potential and power to it. And again, a bunch of these other, Civit AI is the same type, kind of the same as Hugging Face. There's a bunch of models and stuff that you can go and download and use within Stable Diffusion. CapCut it has AI tools in it, but great for video editing, especially if you want to add things like captions and everything to it. And a lot of AI tools today you're going to see is around those different area points, right? copy, image generation, and then video is getting there. If you're really interested in, finding out how we can start using image generation and everything from market and content creation, I highly suggest looking into Stable Diffusion, Hugging Face, and Civit AI. There are a bunch of people creating tools. Alibaba is another one where you'll soon be able to take an image of a piece of clothing and just AI image generate it onto a person. They have use cases where they plan on using this for like e-commerce stores. So I can upload an image of myself and then AI generate the piece of clothing on me, so I know what it looks like on me before purchasing. So there's a bunch of things that people are starting to create and train AI to do to really benefit in use cases when it comes to like marketing, content creation, and a whole bunch of those things. Was there any other questions? Please leave it in the Q&As and I can answer them.
So I don't think there are any questions, so I'll just ask one. Do you think that AI will completely replace, what us humans can do? Just even from a marketing perspective.
Yeah. So I mean, I always give an upfront answer. Yes, AI is going to replace some people's jobs. And then what I mean by that is I have a team of 5 creators. I may only now need 2 creators to produce the same amount of work that those 5 creators worked if those 2 creators know how to use AI. Doesn't mean that if I'm a business, I can still keep the 5 creators and I can now produce 2.5 times more of what I was producing. So it's going to allow people to become much more efficient at what they already do, and be able to produce things. So what I normally come to tell people is it's this balance between quality and quantity. Right now, in the past few years, we've seen marketing change to a quantity-based metric, right? Can I saturate the amount of content that I'm putting out there, hoping that one of them hits and that, we can go with it, right? The more content I can put out there, it's me taking more shots and hopefully one of them will land. And, then the quality of things kind of have, came down from, what we used to think was good marketing before, right? Professional made commercials. We needed an expensive, video team, all that stuff to create great marketing content for most stuff. Now you look at TikTok, I can create a video recording of myself and that will generate much more business for marketing than, spending thousands of dollars on a professional video. What AI, I feel, is going to do is it's going to balance that level again, where I can now produce a quantity amount that I'm still used to producing, but I can up the quality because I can now produce things like AI images and things like that quickly and still be able to implement that into my creative process. Or I can do certain creative things, ask ChatGPT to help me strategize and everything. And I can now take that extra time that I've saved to make the quality that much better. So I do think that, yes, it's going to replace certain areas of work, but it can also just allow you to do what you're currently doing at a much higher scale as well. So it's a yes and a no. But just like other pieces of technology, I think AI can, like support and everything. I think support AI is really good for, especially if you can train it on your previous knowledge. I've seen people, we've done this before too, where we created support chatbots and we fed it, transcriptions of previous support chats. We fed it information about our business that we're creating it for. And now the AI has all of this knowledge, right? Support chats are normally a repetitive thing that you do over and over, right? You're answering the same questions. That's why you have frequently asked questions. So when you can take advantage of training an AI to do all of those repetitive things anymore, now I don't need someone there personally to answer the same question over and over. I can have AI do it. Now it may replace that person's job, but it also now as a business owner, I can now reinvest that resources into something else that can help me grow and scale the business, and I can give other opportunity to other people. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a yes and a no. But yeah, that's kind of the answer to it.
Awesome, thank you. So we have about 3 minutes left to this session. So I welcome, last minute questions that you could throw into Q&A. But if not, I look forward to seeing all, or if not some of you, at the in-person workshop with Sean in February. Again, the link has been